The myth of keto, weight and your fertility for both men and women. That's our topic today. Here to speak with us about this is Bob Grantham, who is co-founder and chief scientific officer of a fabulous company called Life as Imagined. Bob, I'm so happy to see you again.
Thanks. Nice to see you again, too.
So I met you at ACOG, the annual conference for OBGYNs, and I was struck by a clinical study that caught my eye about a weight management program proven to reduce insulin resistance and improve PCOS. So I would like for you to give us the 101 on weight and reproductive health. Let's start there.
All right, great. We'll keep it simplistic, but at the same time, there is science that people do need to grasp and understand. When people gain weight, they actually change some of the metabolism and the metabolic states in their body. For example, when men become overweight or get a BMI over 30, so they're classified as having the disease of obesity, what they don't understand is their body will start converting testosterone to estrogen. This is why you will see men with these round moon faces and the man boobs starting to show up. The same thing happens with women when they start getting obese and get BMIs up over 30. Then they start converting estrogen to testosterone. This is why they will start seeing more masculine features, more hair on the face, etc. And as we all know, ovulation and the menstrual cycle is heavily controlled by estrogen and progesterone. So our weight can affect getting these out of balance, so that becoming pregnant can become difficult and even impossible in some cases. So it's not about losing the weight as much as it is about how you lose the weight to correct the condition the increased weight has caused. And that's what the program and the study you're referring to is about. The marketplace is flooded right now with diets, keto diets, everything's so confusing, but it's commercially available and they're able to get away with saying just about anything they want, make promises that do or that don't come true. Being in ketosis is simply your body utilizing fat as an energy source, but ketosis comes in different levels. Anytime you lose weight, you go into what's called lipolysis, where you're burning some fat for your energy source. But what the state you really want to get in is where your body is producing ketones as its main energy source. And most importantly, you get in the state and you stay there long enough to become keto adaptive so that your body is actually using that. Because there's this fancy thing in your body which every doctor had to learn and tried to forget it as soon as they could because it's so complicated. It's called the Krebs cycle. And the Krebs cycle has the ability to rejuvenate, repair damage, and do a lot of wonderful things to the body if you get the body in the right state, start getting the weight off, but you do it correctly.
All right, Krebs cycle, I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
If people want to learn a little bit more about the Krebs cycle, do we have a resource that we can send them to?
Google and you'll get 500,000 hits.
Well, we normally steer people away from Google, so they can also ask questions in the Fertility Answers app platform about it. We will find reputable resources and some NIH studies about it.
No, we can get them plenty of sources for that. It's well-published information.
Okay, great. So one of the things I'd like to clarify, Bob, is that, a lot of our users come onto the platform and, they might have been struggling with their weight their whole life. They might have genetic predisposition to obesity and weight. They might have a predisposition to overeating even. And, I see it on the message boards all the time, folks coming on and saying, right, but my friend who weighs more than me, she got pregnant, no problem. Or my friend who weighs more than me, just had a baby, why can't I? So, is there such thing as, fully functioning, healthy functioning, normal metabolism, and also high BMI over 30? Or is that just, wow, super rare, 1 in a million, that person got lucky?
No, you're asked a very loaded question. In medicine for many years, there was this big argument about how can certain people be in the obese category, not have high blood pressure, not have high triglycerides, not have all those things. And the argument was there was a such thing as a healthy obese person. But now that much more research has been done, it turns out that even though they haven't yet gotten high blood pressure and or triglycerides, different people take different lengths of time for the insulin resistance and the metabolic syndrome to show up so that these things start happening. Now, back to your thing about, especially when females are thinking about, well, their girlfriend, she was much heavier and she got pregnant. The thing they need to think about is think about all of your different friends and what they've gone through in their menstrual cycles. They're not all the same. I mean, some it's easy, some it's hard, etc. And everybody's body acts differently. This is why it's important that you get into a program if you want to lose weight that is customized for you to get the outcomes you're wanting and not just getting the weight off. And by the way, it is not always about getting your BMI down to a normal. It may be getting a certain amount of weight off in order to get your body into the state, for example, to get pregnant. And therefore you're healthier if you get pregnant, or getting your insulin resistance down, or et cetera, so that you're not converting estrogen to testosterone or whatever. So it has to be dealt with on a patient by patient basis. Unfortunately, there's no single answer for everybody.
Okay, I understand. And then, I like what you said there, that it really is about kind of a customized program to what is it that you really want to see for your own body. And if it's restoration of a normal cycle, for instance, that's possible in a weight management program like the one available through Life as Imagined. And, what I've seen even in my own life as I've aged and my metabolism is naturally slowed down, and, I just can't do the things that I could do 10 years ago, right? And that it's harder actually to get the weight off as well, or to tighten up or to tone. And I seem to plateau very quickly with exercise. One of the things I found unique about your program is that you actually advocate not exercising for the first phase of the program, right? Can you talk a little bit about kind of that relationship at the beginning and the early stages about how you take people through the program?
Yeah, and most people think it's counterintuitive to what they all know, but the reality is your body is designed to survive. And when you do heavy cardiovascular exercise, which is what we're talking about, your body does this thing called an ATP ADP conversion, where it makes you burn 8 calories in order to get rid of 1 internally. Well, that makes no sense to me. Why would I, if I'm trying to lose weight, do I want to have to burn 8 outside to get rid of 1? And the classic example is the marathon runner, the 26.2 mile marathon. They'll burn up roughly 3,700 calories. That's equal to about 1 pound of fat. Wow. And nobody wants to go run a marathon every day to try to get rid of a pound of fat.
Me.
So, yeah. And what we do recommend is on our protocol, when you get in the correct state of ketosis, your muscles are perfect state for toning, like you were talking about. So light weights, high repetition, a lot of walking, things where you burn 1 calorie to get rid of 1 and not get into these conversion factors where your body is trying to survive.
Got it. Okay. One thing that I really love about your program, especially for that phase 1, is that you take all the guesswork out of it for us, don't you?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. We tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And the reason is it's a protocol. And that is, it's proven. It's been being done, has been done by just millions of people, and it's specifically set up. You do it the way it's said to be done. Now, once you're ready to come off, that's when you have to start learning how to handle variety, how to start handling life as it's going to be showing back up to you.
Well, and that's really the key, is that it's about permanent lifestyle change. So if the goal isn't really about just BMI or really even just conception, it's about healthy conception. It's about holding a healthy baby in your arms, right? And that what we advocate for is that we have restoration of health and wellness, and that when someone desires a child, it perhaps might be the most motivating time to take on something that can be truly life-changing, so that it's not just about right now.
Absolutely. And, when women are willing to give up their wine for the 9 months that they're pregnant, they certainly ought to be willing to give up a little bit of time in order to help to get in that state. So we're all
Right.
for it.
So about how long does someone need to work with be on the protocol to accomplish their goals?
Once again, it really depends on what they are trying to accomplish. And we will work with them. I mean, everybody's going to fill out a detailed questionnaire that's going to get a lot of information. We have coaches who have been coaching for years, who know how to work with them and ask the right questions to get the answers to see what fits into their lifestyle, and not here it is, good luck with it, because we know everybody has a different life. And the classic example I love to give, I can't tell a mom who's got to pick kids up at soccer, not right now, but pick kids at soccer, run through, or pick them at school, run through McDonald's and go to soccer practice. I got to make sure she has a correct snack in the car with her, or she's going to be munching on some French fries. So we're going to work with them on their lifestyle so that this fits their lifestyle.
Great.
And that's critical important, because that's going to build the skill set they will need afterwards.
The other beautiful thing about the program is that it's virtual. Nobody has to go anywhere. This is, the perfect time to embrace this type of model in a virtual manner. What would you say is the biggest difference between, this and all the fad, diets out there, just in terms of the protocol? Because people will look at this and me and it and say, okay, but my friend is an independent distributor for this amazing line of shakes, or other prepackaged type kind of diets, right?
Yeah, let me and that's a great question. Let me give you the simple answer. We want patients who are looking to improve their health, improve their life, and get a specific outcome, willing to make a commitment. In other words, we want them to love themselves enough to make a sacrifice to get the results they want. That is not going to happen by grabbing a fad. That's not going to happen by thinking you can do it in a week or 2 weeks, or, oh my gosh, I got this coming up in 2 weeks, so I can't start now. No, you make the decision that you love yourself more than anything else, and I have to go do this for me, not your husband, not your family, but yourself. And we will actually question them before they start the program to make sure this is indeed what they're doing, because it does get difficult sometimes. Life gets in the way, and you have to be able to fall back on that. I'm doing this for myself, so I'm around for my family, I'm around for my husband and grandchildren, etc. So we need the right attitude, and it's not what you're going to see on TV, and it's just not out there in the commercial world.
I absolutely love that sentiment. I think that that approach of, do you love yourself enough to choose a life of health and wellness, is incredible. That is a wonderful sentiment. And a couple of keys for our patients to know is that you can find out more about Life as Imagined on the Fertility Answers platform. You can also ask questions about the program right within the question and answer part of the platform. And we have a special offer for all the patients that we do connect directly to Life as Imagined. So I encourage everyone to, hop on, download the Fertility Answers app on iOS and Android so that we can connect you right to Life as Imagined. Bob, it is so great to just have the chance to bring this program to those whose insulin resistance and PCOS are in the way. And as you mentioned, it's not in the way for everybody right in this moment to have a healthy baby, but for those that it very much is in the way and they have that goal of healthy family, we want to get them to you. So thank you for the generosity of your time and for being a part of the Fertility Answers Network.
Yep, thank you, and appreciate it.
All right, we'll see everybody next time. Thanks so much.
Bye.